Treasure Hunt fan, Joe Bell. Big D back here with Dollar Tree video. I didn't even know this was going to happen. I'm a little bit speechless in that I didn't know Dollar Tree movies were even coming. I mean, I heard a couple people say they found a few things, but the posts I read on the forums that I'm on all made it sound like it was just part of the same wave. Apparently, it wasn't. Apparently, there was a new wave that came out this week of Dollar Tree movies. We just had a wave like 2 weeks ago, but another wave is. And the only reason why I knew about this is that, I don't know if most of you know, but I do go and watch my niece and nephew. I go out and obviously Cobb, he's been on a few videos. I go out and visit with them, and I'll go watch them for a few hours here and there to help out my brother. And I always take them to the Dollar Tree. We always go to the Dollar Tree. The kids love the Dollar Tree. We go in there, they get candy, they get sodas. Usually my nephew's into Hot Wheels, so he'll grab a couple Hot Wheels. My niece is into baby doll clothes, stuff like that, so she'll grab some of that stuff. And then we all go home. It's a great time. They look forward to it. I look forward. It's just fun. You know, it's a lot of fun. So I did my typical thing. Went out to go visit them yesterday and was like, let's go to Dollar Tree. And they're like, actually, I didn't say it. They were like, let's go to Dollar Tree. Go to Dollar Tree. As soon as I walked in, the weekly thing, the bin up front was movies. My nephew kind of just looked at me and laughed. He's like, ha ha. So he knew exactly where I was going to go, and sure enough, I went over there, and they had a lot of really good stuff. They had some stuff that I saw in the last wave, but there was some stuff I've never seen before that I was like, what is this? So this is what I picked up. I got several DVDs, and I got a few Blu-rays. I did talk about this in my weekly news, the fact that I used the money I was going to save up for my Star Trek thing to get this, just because I was like, oh, wow. Sometimes I can be really picky and choosing with Dollar Tree stuff, too. I'm like, I don't really need this. But there was stuff in here I was like, dude, I really need to get this. So it was... and let me just tell you, Cobb egged it on. He's like, Uncle Don, this one looks good. Uncle Don, this one looks good. It was hilarious. I love that kid. I really do. So this is what I picked up. Picked up some DVDs and Blu-rays to show them to you, see what you guys think. Be on the lookout, though. Go out there, because Dollar Tree's got movies again. So let's get started. We'll start with the DVDs first. The first one I picked up, it's a documentary, but I was like totally stoked on it. It's The Power of Grayskull, the definitive history of He-Man and Masters of the Universe. What is this? The back even shows the movie. Look, there's the Skeletor from the movie. But I saw this. Who puts this out? Can't even tell who puts this out. It's like a Destination Films, it looks like. Again, I've never even seen this. I knew there was documentaries out there about He-Man, but I walk in, this is one of the ones I see, and I was like, gotta grab this. My nephew even looked at me and was like, what is that? So I gotta show him He-Man. But I got this. Let's see here. Next, again, this is one of the ones I walked up and saw. I was like, dude, I really need to get this. And it's called Terror Tales. I don't know what it's about. I think it's an anthology. Does it have anybody in here I really notice? Not really. I don't really recognize the names, but although did they say the character's name on here? They say that I can't. Man, that light's bright. I can't tell. But it looks really good. It looks like an anthology movie. Let's read the back here. When abducted by a psychopath, a husband is taken on a round trip from hell, where he is subjected to 3 horrific tales of the macabre, while his family is held captive in an all-attractive cargo trailer. So it's an anthology movie. I love movies like this. I thrive on like horror anthologies. I just think they're really cool, because a lot of times you can do with horror. The one cool thing about horror is comedy can do this too, is you can do small little stories but really hit home something really quickly. And that's why I love anthologies, because you can do small little stories so you feel like you're even getting more out of the movie than just one long story. So this looks really cool. I had to jump on it. The cover grabbed me. I was like, what is that? So I grabbed that. Let's see here. Next was this is one of the ones my nephew was like, yeah, you need to grab that one. Termination. I don't know. I have no idea what this is. It's sci-fi stories. Oh, is this an anthology too? 6 short sci-fi stories. It's an anthology, but science fiction. So good job, Cobb. I'm glad you made me grab this one. So I grabbed that. Next, we have another horror movie. Pumpkins. Never heard of it. Have no idea. But it looked really cool. I love the cover. This is just stuff I don't see other. I like you watch other YouTubers that go grab Dollar Tree stuff, and some of these movies like these 3 here, I have not seen. Actually, the Grayskull one too. I've never seen anybody grab these ones. Maybe you have, but I haven't. So something like this, I'm like, yeah, it looks really good. Go for it. It's got a bonus music video. There you go. So there's that. A lot of good horror in this one. This one I grabbed was Curse of the Scarecrow. Again, a new monster movie is born. I have no idea, but it looks good. I love the cover artwork, so grabbed it. This next one, not a horror movie, but it's a comedian my wife really loves, and I like her too. I think she's really funny, and it's called Problem Child with Leslie Jones. I think she's really funny. I really do like her. She did this stint on, is it Kimmel or something like that, a couple years ago, called Leslie Jones and the Game of Thrones, and they'd have her watch the episode of Game of Thrones, and it was hilarious. It was a great bit. I think it was for like the last season of the Game of Thrones. They'd have her on once a week to do commentary on the episode. It was absolutely hilarious. Look it up. You'll get a kick out of it. The stuff that she's at the TV and stuff like that she's watching, and it's legendary. So, but again, I saw this $1, boom, grab it. So I grabbed that. This next one is a sci-fi flick. It's called Space Force Battlefront. Don't know, but it looks interesting. It's Echo Bridge title. I don't know much about it, but you know, how does it is? Nine times out of 10, it's probably not gonna be a good movie, but you know, it's worth a look. And for $1, if I don't like it, I only wasted $1. I can handle it. So I love science fiction. I really do. Obviously, I'm a big Star Trek fan. You guys know that. I love science fiction. I've loved science fiction ever since I was a little kid. Sci-fi has been a major part of my life. Horror has been too, but I started as a sci-fi fan and kind of morphed into horror thanks to movies like Alien that took science fiction and horror, mixed them in together. So I love both those genres so much. I always felt those genres both have a lot of interconnectivity because of the movies like Aliens and some of the other movies that have got, I'm trying to think, of course, I'm brain farting right now, but the science fiction movies that are horror movies at the same time, I mean, I've really always enjoyed those because it takes both my favorite genres and just crams them together. So it's probably the reason why I love Alien and Aliens so much. Aliens in my top 20. Aliens is in my top 5 easily. So there's that. This next movie was another one that old Cobb was like, Uncle Don, because of the weapon the guy had in his hand. It's called The Answer. Sometimes it's best not to know. I don't know, although it did win it looks like it would win a couple of awards at the Shriekfest Awards and Rhode Island International Film Festival. So I don't know, but when he saw the weapon, the guy's hand, he's like, that looks really cool, man. You gotta grab that. So I grabbed it. We'll see. My luck is I'm gonna love this movie, and then from then I have to drag him with me every time I go to the Dollar Tree. You need to pick out the ones that are gonna be good. So we'll see. I will let you know on this. I will watch this, and I'll let you guys know whether Cobb was right on this one or not. So there's that. This one looked pretty good. I don't know who the people are in it, but it's called Life Form and Monster is Born. It got, quite a couple different disclaimers in the back saying how good it is. It's by Red Eye Entertainment. It looks cool. I like movies like this. This is a creature feature. I'm in every time. So there's that. Let's see here. This one is another one. This one actually had an all-star cast. I was like, wait a second here. It stars Malcolm McDowell, Lou Diamond Phillips, Robert Englund, and Lacey Chabert. So I was like, wow, okay. It's called A Sanatorium Locked in Insanity. I don't know. I have a funny feeling it's going to be kind of cheesy, but the cast was like, wow, all right. Okay, I got to check this out. Robert Englund, come on. So I don't know much about it, but it looks really interesting, and the cast had to grab me. So it's one of those ones where I see the cast, it's like, Lou Diamond Phillips, big fan since Young Guns, and well, actually before Young Guns, La Bamba. So Robert Englund, I mean, Malcolm McDowell, come on, he was in Star Trek for crying out loud. So I had to grab that one. There we go. And then the last two were collection DVDs that I got for the DVD side of it. The first one is a 4-film collection. It has John Carpenter's The Ward, Frozen, Greystone Park, and what is this other one? I can't read it. I actually cannot read what title is the last one. I bought it for The Ward, but I can't read this last one. It starts. I really can't. I think it's Exiled. So, Echo Bridge title, but the 4 and it probably all on one day. But it didn't matter. I really wanted to see The Ward, and the fact they get 3 more horror movies on top of that for $1, that's 25 cents a movie right here. So, I love things like this, especially when there's like these cheesy horror movies that are attached to something. Yeah, I thrive on this stuff. So stoked to get that. And the last DVD I got is another one of those ones you find at Walmart all the time, and it's one of those buy one get 2 free. This one's called Charismia. Okay, Face Your Demons. And also the 2 bonus movies in there are Dark Spirits and Legacy of Evil. So again, I like these things. I see these at Walmart all the time, and I picked up a few. This is what drives me nuts. I've seen a couple of these at Walmart over the years, and I've actually grabbed a couple of them, and then you find them at Dollar Tree like 5 months later. So I stopped buying these at Walmart. I'm waiting for Dollar Tree to get them, but I love these because again, it's $1 for 3 movies. And usually, what happens with these movies is the main movie's on its own disc, and then the other 2 movies are on a separate disc. So you get like usually 2 discs, but it's good stuff. Excuse me. So I'm really stoked to grab that. Actually, these 2 were found at a different Dollar Tree. I stopped by the one next to my house, and as I told you in my previous Dollar Tree video, I've got a guy in my town now who's going in and buying them all up. So the only reason I found those 2 is it looked like somebody's trying to hide them to pick them up later, and I just so happened to stumble on them. But I'm having that trouble now where in my own hometown, I got somebody who's going after them, and they're flipping them. There's a local flea market we have here in town, and I taking him there, and he's flipping them over the weekend. So I get it. You got to make money, stuff like that. It's just a bummer because he's buying up multiple copies of the same movie, whereas other people can't get them. So it's kind of a bummer there. Hey, we all got to make money. I get it. It's a bummer for some of us who aren't flipping these things or keeping them for personal collection. I can't get them, and I've got to go to some extremes. But whatever. It's my fault I didn't get there in time, I guess. So with that being said, now we're going to go on to the Blu-rays. Now, some of these Blu-rays I've seen other people get. Some of them I haven't. But, I just figured I'd grab them. The first one I got, I paid $1 for this. I've heard it's a terrible movie, but for $1, I can always use the case later on. It's John Travolta and Gotti. I heard this is not that great. I heard it's not a good movie. But I will check it out. For $1, I'll definitely check it out. See what it's like. If I don't like it, I'll figure out something. But I grabbed that. This one looks really cool. I've really gotten into martial arts movies lately. I've been watching, I got that a couple years ago or whatever. I got that Criterion collection of all the Bruce Lee movies, and I've been going through that lately, which, by the way, those look, and I will be doing an in-depth review on those, but those look amazing in the Criterion collection. I really enjoy going back and watching these Bruce Lee movies. I've already finished, I finished The Big Boss, and I finished Fist of Fury. I'm almost done with Return of the Dragon. Then once there, I got a couple more left, and I will do a review. So be on the lookout for that review in the next couple of weeks. But this one is Brotherhood of Blades, martial arts movie. Totally stoked. I'm really into this stuff right now. I'm really into watching the martial arts and stuff like that. So I was stoked to see this. I know some people were getting this like 2 and 3 waves ago, Dollar Tree waves ago. But for me, it's for some I saw it, so I grabbed that. The next one here, it just looks like a really cheesy movie. Don't care. It's called Rampage, Capital Punishment. I don't know. This is probably all cheesy as all get out. I'm sure it is, but it looks kind of cool. The cover looks really cool, so I grabbed that. This movie, I remember being at Walmart. I remember this being at Best Buy, stuff like that. And the cover looked so intriguing to me. I just didn't want to pay that. I think it started at $14.95, and then the cheapest I ever saw it was $9.99. I just didn't want to pick up that price. I figured eventually I'd seen a streaming service. It just looked intriguing to me. And then I saw it in the Dollar Tree. And that is Valentine, the Dark Avenger. All right. For $1, I'll grab it. I was really surprised. And I believe, isn't this is Shout Factory. So, very interesting. I've heard a couple things about this movie. I'm not, but nothing really concrete. So I figured, why not? I was stoked. Like I said, I remember seeing it specifically in Best Buy and thinking I should grab the cover. Looks interesting. Looks kind of a superhero movie or something like that. But it even says in the back here, to save her city, she will have to accept her destiny. But I just never pulled the trigger. I just didn't want to pay $14.95, even $9.99. I felt like this was more like a $5 or $6 movie. I waited a little bit longer. Bingo. Score. Got it for $1. The next one I got here is a double feature, which I already have one of these movies, but I don't have the second one. So it's Clean Skin with Sean Bean, and then The Sweeney with Ray Winston. I actually have this. I do not have this. So for $1, all right. I'll probably get rid of this one, my copy of this, and just keep this 2-pack as I condense my stuff a little bit more. It's not a Star Trek movie or something like that, so I can get rid of it, not feel bad about it. I still got it. It's not my favorite movie. So, but really cool. Double feature. Totally stoked. Really into it. Yeah. You ever notice how he dies in every movie he's in or what? I mean, I'm a big fan of Sean Bean's, but man, that guy, he's got the terrible luck with his characters. So there's that. And the last one I got, and the one I found the most intriguing and the most excited when I saw it sitting there in the thing. I don't know much about it other than I know it's a horror movie, and I've heard pretty good things about it. And it's called Citadel. I've heard really good things about this movie, and I've floated the idea a couple times of possibly picking up on eBay or something like that, but I never really never ended up pulling the trigger. For $1, I was really amazed, and really, I'm gonna totally watch this weekend. I may even do a review on this one. I'm not sure if it ends up being good. But I've heard really good things about it. So it's, what do they bill it here as? A terrifying and freakish. They see your fear. The synopsis sounded really cool. I'll hold up. You can pause it if you want to. I'll get up here close if you want to read it. Or is it? Yeah. So, but I was stoked to see this as the first. They only had one, and the whole thing that they had, and they had the store that I went to with my niece and nephew. They probably had about 5 boxes worth of movies. This is the only one I saw of this one. All the other movies I got here, I saw at least another copy of, with the exception of Pumpkins and Terror Tales. Well, I only saw one of each one of those, and then one of this one. So I don't know whether these are a little bit more limited, or they didn't get enough. But I was really stoked to get that one. That is it for my Dollar Tree. I do want to hit up I have one more Dollar Tree in my town. I do want to hit up and take a look. I might even have my wife swing by there tonight on our way to our friend's house. But that is it for the Dollar Tree run. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you got at Dollar Tree. If you hit your Dollar Trees up, again, I didn't see this one coming. I've read through my forums, and it wasn't like anybody said. Usually what will happen is the forums that I read, I go on Blu-ray.com a lot, Digital Bits, Reddit. I got a couple forums on Reddit I go to, and people were posting. I went to Dollar Tree the other day and I found a couple, but nobody, usually somebody put specifically like, hey, July 7th, Dollar Tree's got boxes coming out. Didn't see that this time. So I was reading through some stuff, and most people were like, yeah, I hit up a couple Dollar Trees today on my way home. I found this movie. I didn't see anything new. So I didn't really think there was anything going on there. Lo and behold, there really was. So they had a lot of movies there. I actually passed on quite a bit of stuff too. There's some other things that was questionable. Maybe I should get this, and I decided not to. But there was a lot of what seemed to be really cool stuff. And there was actually a lot of stuff I already owned, which was funny. And it wasn't stuff I'd seen past Dollar Trees. It was stuff I bought from Best Buy or Walmart that were in there too. So I didn't see any. Some YouTubers are finding like used movies in their thing, like refurbished movies. A lot of Disney titles. I did not find any of that in here. Nor would I probably buy that. I might. I don't know. Most of that stuff I already own. So what I have seen so far, people are finding the refurbished stuff is everything I already owned already. So I don't necessarily know I get it. I do not buy this stuff to turn around and flip it. Just so everybody knows on this channel, I don't do that. I buy this stuff. This stuff goes in my personal collection. I do on occasion make a mistake and buy an extra copy of the same movie, like Centurion. On the last wave, I bought that twice by accident because I hadn't had a chance to upload the movies into my, I have a program on my phone where I upload all my movies onto that. I hadn't scanned those Dollar Tree movies in yet, so I looked up, no, I don't have it, so I got it. So that doesn't happen, on occasion it does happen, but I don't get rid of these. These go in my collection. I don't flip them. I'm not going to Dollar Tree and buying a bunch of this stuff to flip them. I don't. This is part of my personal collection. This is stuff that I love to do. I'm so thankful Dollar Tree gets this stuff because you can get a lot of movies for, $20. You can get after tax, like 18 movies. My tax rate in California is really ridiculous high. I think we're at 10%. So, it's cool to be able to get a lot of bang for your buck. And I love this. We used to have this major flea market here in my town in Santa Cruz. I live in a town about 14 miles away from Santa Cruz. Most people know Santa Cruz because of the Beach Boardwalk. Also, where they filmed The Lost Boys, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, so people know Santa Cruz for that. We used to have this massive, where the old drive-in used to be. There's a massive flea market that happens every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's happened since I was a little kid. I remember being 4 and 5 years old and my parents and my mom taking me to the flea market. So, and then going that night to go to the drive-in to go see a movie like Star Wars, which I saw at that drive-in for the first time. So, they've had it for years. Now, there's Dignity Health, which is a medical organization we have here. They built this brand new, extension to the hospital, which is just down the street right there next to the old drive-in. And then they bought the land the old drive-in was on, and they closed the drive-in. When they bought that land, they closed the drive-in with the express content of building some big monstrosity parking structure there, which that area is really big. It had 2 big screens and a ton of parking for both those big screens. This is a large area. The extension of the hospital is not that big. They don't have that many rooms to combat how many cars they have in a parking garage. So, they were going to do this. Then the people of the town rallied around the people, because a lot of people make their living at the flea market. They sell this at the flea market, and that's how they make their living. They rallied around and they managed to get the hospital to stop doing anything, and they managed to get the hospital to run it like a business, in that they kept it open for the flea market. And they did that for years. This is probably 10, 15 years it was this way. Everything was running. They were letting these people go. They were letting people sell their stuff, and they weren't doing anything with it. The pandemic happened, and that allowed the hospital to go ahead and do what they've been wanting to do for 15 years, was push the flea market out. Because what they did was, when the pandemic happened and they locked everything down, they turned the flea market area, the old... They tore down the screens. The screens have been gone for a long time, but they turned where the flea market was into a big testing center for COVID that's still set up now. Even though they're not doing testing there anymore, it's all still set up for the testing. They still got the booths out there. They still got all the cones out there, all that stuff, and they're not using it for anything anymore. But the flea market has since been shut off completely from there now. They do a mini flea market in the town that I live in now, but that's it. They managed to over the years. So the flea market where I used to get a lot of my movies back in the day is gone. This newer flea market little thing that popped up now, not a lot of, it's mostly just individual vendors. There's not a lot of people just selling off their wares, selling off the stuff they had in their closets or they had in their trunks or their, I don't know, their garages. This is more, it's more just somebody goes into Dollar Tree and buys some stuff and then they flip it there. So that's changed a lot. So I don't have that ability anymore, which is kind of a big bummer. But those are the good old days, man. The flea market stuff like that. That's where you see a lot of get them. I don't even know why I went on this subject, and I apologize for that. But a little brief history of Santa Cruz. So that is it. Please let me know what you guys picked up at Dollar Tree. I'm really curious to see if you guys get anything different than I am. Like I said, I'm going to try to hit one more just out of curiosity. This one I'm going to hit today, though I don't really have a whole lot of luck in. But that is it. Like, subscribe, the bell. Please share this video. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Please take care and be safe out there. And as always, seriously, always keep hunting, man. You seriously never know what you're going to find. You're going to walk into some store one day and all of a sudden Dollar Tree's got a bunch of movies you didn't know they're going to have. So take care, everybody. Live long and prosper.